All right, we're back to test one of the bulbs again, and then I'm going to actually show you how to test the light in the circuit itself. Real quick, one little note, I do have an inline fuse here. If you make your 12 volt battery, which I actually recommend just buying a little baby 12 volt battery rather than taping together 8 AA's, because I keep struggling with my battery losing connectivity. But it's suggested to put a fuse in. People said a 1.5, but the one I had was a 3. That's the smallest I've got. And I've already popped it once by touching the wrong thing. So you don't want to tear anything up and overload anything in here, especially with some of the electronic stuff. But testing the bulb again, because the one I took out I didn't mark, so I don't know how to put it back in. So we're going to test. All right, so my green one is the negative. Now, this is just a little cheap drill press vise that I used. I got it at Harbor Freight. It's pretty inexpensive, but this works great for this type of thing, just setting it on your workspace. So I'm going to take this bulb out and I'm going to mark the side that is negative, or the ground side. And this one I can actually, because it's a gray, it's one of the original sockets, I can actually mark the socket itself. Probably a white paint pen or something would be better, but I don't have one right now, and that's the reason I don't have a 12 volt battery, because I didn't want to drive in and get one. So now we're going to take this back. We're still going to work on that same turn signal. So if you study the ribbon, you can figure out where the ground is. So let me get a little device to point. And the ground's going to be the one that's shared by multiple entities here. So if you notice this top, I'm trying to get out of the way so you can see it. This top ribbon right here is also shared by this bulb, this bulb, this bulb, and this bulb. And it actually keeps traveling. I don't even know if you can see any of that. All right. You can see this top ribbon, if you follow it, it's shared by the first socket, second socket, fourth socket, fifth, sixth, and then it travels down and is actually shared on the speedometer cluster here. But we're just looking at the turn signal right now. So I know the ground is the top one. So when I put this bulb back in, I'm going to try to put it to where the ground section is at the top. I think this is it. You'll know because it's not going to work. All right, so and I'm going to make sure I can ground this. So on the top, I'm going to bring my ribbon back so I can actually see the pins. I'm going to take I'm going to take the positive battery clip coming off my little 12 volt battery. And as we noted before, this is based on my super notes. It's right here. It's pin 18, so that's the long row. It's the fourth one in from the left. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm basically giving that fourth one power. And in theory, if we ground this over here, if you don't ground it, you'll pop the fuse. So let's see if I can get into the ground wire here. Okay, perfect. See how that's lighting up? You can see the LEDs are like super bright. Sometimes I think they're too bright. So when I ground that, I know that's working. So everything's good on that turn signal, and the turn signals, I was able to get them working good. So they look good actually with the LED. It's nice and a bright green turn signal. So disconnect your power again, and that is how you can test each of these bulbs inside their sockets without actually being in a terrible place under the dashboard. But if you do want to work inside your vehicle, one tip that I would tell you is the connector plug that goes into here. There's enough slack in it that you can feed it back through the dash and have it hanging under the dash. So then you can reconnect the speedometer into the floorboard area, and you can turn the key on and off, see if the indicator lights come on, and you can use your turn signals and all the good things, bright lights, low lights, start the vehicle. And it's a lot easier than trying to manipulate it at the actual place to where the dashboard mounts. And I talked about screws earlier. Let me look on my kit here. So I bought, unfortunately this was not my first kit that I bought. I've wasted a lot of money buying the wrong size screws. So it's this tiny screw right here. So I think that says M2 by 6 millimeter. So that's the little tiny screw that I'm using. The pan head screws that work as long as it's a wide area. Here is an example of a pan head screw. It's just got the kind of washer that's integrated into the lid, which that's fine here because this is a really wide piece of ribbon. But I found on these narrow pieces of ribbon, if there's decay on top of the ribbon and it allows the conductivity or the conducting surface to show, this pan head screw would connect multiple ones together and then it wouldn't operate properly. So I hope that helps, and I'll try to post all this stuff out there for y'all to look at, and send me any questions if you have it. And I'm not the fastest at getting back to people, but I'll do my best because I know this is incredibly frustrating. And it's a cheap fix. It'll save you from dropping $1,000 and then having to rewire everything, because that's pretty much what I found the instrument clusters for this particular model, about $1,000. All right, have a great day.